We'll talk about both the game last night and Chelsea's season so far, Goffey. And we have to talk about the goal, the ball from Hudson-Odoi. We were talking about it in the meeting before. I watched it this morning. I watched it about 5 times. It was on a sixpence. It was just perfection. What a ball that was.
Well, it was, but it was the 1-2, wasn't it? That
set him off on the run.
Oh, unbelievable touch. Do you know, Hudson-Odoi in that game, some of the touches, little touches here and there, we're talking 2 or 3 yard little touches in tight situations, were excellent in keeping the ball and getting his team out of trouble. Just watch the game back, Andy, and watch some of his little touches here and there. They were fantastic, you know. Absolutely superb. And I think every time he's played for him this year, I think he's performed.
Does he have a long future at Chelsea? Does he have...
Well, I don't know. He nearly went. Is it Bayern Munich? Weren't he? Interested in him a few years ago, but he didn't go. And then it looked like he weren't going to. He was in the England side. Then that all went to pot. Other players came in instead of him. But I think his performances. I think he looks a pretty solid player to me. He looks. I think there'll be quite a few teams that wouldn't mind him in their team.
Yeah, but do you think players like Conor Gallagher, another player, of course, that I expect to see playing for Chelsea?
Well, Gilmour as well. I mean, they've got to make some decisions there because Loftus-Cheek's coming to the party as well. Yeah. Well, we've been saying this for years about Loftus-Cheek. He's a good player.
But what do they do with these players? I mean, Chelsea are renowned for having about 400 players out on loan, aren't they?
Well, I honestly believe, I think Kante might be time for him to move on at some point. I think he'll be just ready for a change, whether it be Real Madrid or somewhere like that, or whether somebody like Newcastle could tempt him, a third team in the Premier League. Can you imagine that?
That's a great call. Yeah, what as manager? Because they can't get anyone.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? They're going to be brought into it, Newcastle. Whether you like to hear it or not, because of the money they've got, their owners, the 320 billion, going to be linked to some of the top players. And we know he's an influential player, whichever club he's been at, whether it be Leicester in the Premier League, whether it be Chelsea in the Premier League. They both won the title. So obviously, if he becomes available and Chelsea have got other options and they want to freshen it up in that area, they've got other players who can play it. You know what I mean? So if they can get a few quid for him, you never know.
Let me ask you, I want to take calls from Chelsea fans as well, 03717223324. Are people getting a little bit too carried away with Chelsea at the moment? The reason I say that, right, is you look at their last, 6 results. Brentford beat them 1-0. Norwich, they smashed them, everyone does. Drew with Southampton in the cup, beat them on penalties. Beat Newcastle, they're appalling anyway. Malmo just got past them. They lost to City. They drew with Villa in the cup. They beat a poor Spurs side. I know they're top, but, everyone's going, Chelsea, they look amazing. Do they look amazing, or have they just had a great run so far?
I think so. With the changes they've made in a lot of the games, he's used a lot of players. Big squad.
That doesn't concede goals, I know that.
Lukaku's not been playing.
No.
Pulisic's coming back from injury. He got some game time last night. Hudson-Odoi's been playing a lot. Loftus-Cheek's playing a lot. Kante's been injured.
But is everyone not getting too excited about them?
I think when you've got a manager who can find a way to win when he's rotating his team. Guardiola does it because he's got a huge squad. I think Tuchel now's got a huge squad and he uses them properly. He knows how to use them. That's the key here. Yes, the teams you can talk about that and it's a fair enough debate, but he's proved he does it. He does it wherever he's been so far. He knows how to get results. He has a style of play and he can get all his players to play for him, and they're doing it.
Yeah, I know you can only beat the teams in front of you. I get that. I know that. But I'm just saying, when I look at the list of team, Brentford, Norwich, Southampton, Newcastle, I'm like, you should beat them.